Hey guys, welcome back to my kitchen. Stay tuned, I've got something really exciting for you today. We're going to take one of these and turn it into this. Alright, so the first thing you need to do is get our skillet on to a low heat. And even if that pan is not quite hot yet, go ahead and take just a little bit of extra oil. I'm just going to do a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of this pan. Stir it, move it around a little bit, and then place that bacon in there. And for something like this, where you're trying to make crispy bacon, it is okay to put that in there with it cold. You may be thinking, why is he only making 2 small slices of bacon? That is because I'm only going to make 1 sandwich. Alright, go ahead and have your paper towel out, because as soon as that's ready, you are going to want to move that across. Now, while your bacon is going, we're going to do some other stuff for our sandwich. So while the bacon's going, we're going to go ahead and start on a little bit of a sauce for our sandwich. Go ahead and start with some honey. And we're going to add just a little bit of spicy mustard to it. Take out your trusty mixing tool. Mix that together really good. And then take a little bit of mayonnaise. And you can use just, a homemade mayonnaise for this if you like. But your mayonnaise is less for how it tastes and more for the texture of it. You are wanting just a little bit of a thicker texture here. What you want is to keep mixing this until it is mostly smooth. And if you'll notice, I keep turning the bowl to make sure that I'm getting all of it. And once you've got it to the texture you like, I'm going to go ahead and give it a small taste. And that's actually perfect. So after a few minutes, you're going to go ahead and flip your bacon. And you want it to be crispy, but not overcooked. And while that's going, we're going to take 2 eggs. Drop those straight into a little bowl. Now, typically here you would use salt, but instead I'm actually going to use fish sauce. And you would use salt because salt isn't going to change the color very much, but you do want that salty flavor. And the reason I'm using fish sauce instead of soy sauce is because any soy sauce is going to change the color of your eggs pretty drastically. But a couple of squirts of fish sauce is not. Once that's in there, go ahead and mix your eggs completely. You don't want there to be any extra viscous bits in this. You want your eggs to be nice and smooth. And now, in the time it has taken our bacon to cook, we have made eggs, and we have whisked our eggs and made a sauce. Go ahead and take your bacon straight out and put it onto a paper towel to absorb some of that oil And that should fit just about perfectly onto our bread. Wouldn't be me if we weren't making some sort of vegetable to go with this, to go on this. So we're just going to drop a little bit of frozen spinach straight into that bacon grease. And while that's on there, we're going to go ahead, take a spoon, and spread some of this sauce straight onto this bread. And that should only take a couple of minutes to cook far enough down. And it'll add some really nice color to our sandwich. So all I'm doing with this spinach is making sure that all the frozen bits are thawed all the way, essentially. It doesn't take but a minute or two. Not adding any salt or any pepper or anything like that, because I'm cooking it in the bacon grease, and there's plenty of good flavor in that. But you need to make sure that it's all soft, because you want it to go down onto your sandwich in as even of a layer as possible. And I'm actually going to go ahead and just move my bacon straight across like this. Take something to pick up your pan, because that handle is going to be hot if you have a metal handle. And just move that spinach straight down onto whatever you used for your bacon. Now that pan is still good and hot. That's exactly what we need. Give your eggs one last stir and drop. There should be a slight sizzle as you drop your eggs in. I am going to add a little bit more heat. We're also going to wipe the stuff off of my sandwich, or off of my spatula, not my sandwich. And we're going to scramble. Now I am mostly just pulling towards the center. And a little known fact with eggs that people don't tend to tell you is that if they are overdone, if they're done in the pan, they're going to be overdone when you eat them. So you do want them to still have a little bit of a runny texture to them when you pull them out of the pan, because there is going to be a little bit of carryover cooking. Now while those are finishing up, I'm even actually going to shut the pan all the way off, flip these guys over to finish cooking. Just like that. And I'm going to take just a second to finish putting sauce on this bread. Alright, so sauce on the bread. And then you'll take your spinach. It should be cool enough to touch now. And you want to spread that. Like I said, you are looking for a fairly even layer across that sandwich. Alright. Got some spinach on my hands still. Then you want to take your eggs. And I'm actually going to break them up just a hair and place them directly on top of the bacon. Alright. once you've got your eggs into your sandwich, once again, you do want to try to make sure everything is a fairly even layer. I actually have a little bit of egg bits left over. Take your other piece of bread and just lay it on top. Now, if you want, you can go ahead and just eat this right now. But if you want it to be its absolute best, we're going to take something flat and set it on top of this for 5, maybe 6 minutes. Alright, so I put some plastic wrap, got my something flat, but it's not very heavy. So what I'm going to do is just set a container of salt on top of it. Now, while that sits for a few minutes, I'm going to go ahead and clean up. Alright, we've been waiting. Time to plate up. I'm just going to use the same plate I used before. Take your plastic wrap off. Take your handy dandy knife. Cut right through that first piece of bread and then just press down. And there you have it. One beautiful egg salad sandwich with bacon. Set that on the plate. Not bad. Alright, so here's what's nice about this. You have it all nice and compact. It's all pushed together. It's had time for all the flavors to combine. Then when you take a bite out of it, it's got the creamy from the sauce, the saltiness from the little bit of fish sauce. The eggs are delicious. Look, that bacon, it just came apart perfectly in that bite. And that's what you want. And that makes sure you have bacon in every single bite. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you had a good time. See you next time.